current dayers!
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Go on, son. Have a bump.
How are you doing, Turfington Nationowitz?
I'm doing good. What about you?
Pretty good. The Boys is fun.
You wanna watch me have a wank? It'll cost you a tenner.
You know what it kind of seems like lately, dude? Is that everything that comes out that the Chuds, kind of grift off of or whatever is another example of them exposing their asses. Like, I mean, it's always been that, I guess, like if anybody that knows what they're looking for, but like, it feels like, maybe this is just, I'm so deep in the fucking hole of this stuff by now that I can't see anything else, but it feels like every single thing, like whatever show or movie, whenever they start talking about it, their narrative about it or whatever, is something that kind of exposes some element of the grift or the repetition of the cycle of the shit that they talk about. You know what I mean? Have you noticed any of that?
I think you're talking out your ass right now. I mean,
What the fuck did you say?
they took The Boys, a apolitical show about superheroes, and they turned it woke. And I think you're catching on to straws here.
You might have a point, but let's check out this video that I found that might give us a little context on that. Take us out of the current era, current fucking dais, and see what we can find out from a couple of years ago, maybe. All right, so this video is from
Oh shit! Sorry, you guys, I'm narcoleptic.
July 5th, 2022. Goddamn near 2 years ago exactly. I'd like to talk about The Boys. And to talk about The Boys, I'm bringing on Lil Movie Perp.
Surprise, motherfuckers.
That is amazing.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, The Boys. If you watch that, it's almost 3 seasons deep now. Like we're to the end of the 3rd season, but about 2.5 seasons in, so a couple episodes ago, an event took place. There was like a couple of moments where apparently it's the first time that a good chunk of right-wingers finally realized that the show was making fun of them. The boys subreddit r/the boys apparently just went fucking hey. Okay, so that's weird, right? Like, isn't that what we're talking about right now, currently in the current fucking dais?
How could they be noticing it now and then also back then?
What is that? Are we in a time loop, man?
Surrounded by sycophants and fucking imbeciles.
It's almost as if the anti-woke arguments go in circles, but that's just a theory.
Well, okay, so yeah, it could be a theory, or it might be. It's theoretically a theory, but here's another theory that both things are true. That there's a decent amount of people who are learning that it is skewering the right wing, specifically MAGA and like Trump, and not just like the right in general, but what the right is today is being skewered. And then so I don't doubt that there's some people that are just learning this for the first time that probably never watched the show and never had any interest in it, but they hear that about it and they see a clip going around on Twitter or whatever. They're like, oh, how dare they? But then there's the content creators who almost certainly a good bit of them, I'd put money on it, are perfectly aware that they've already done this before. Good, profitable topic that they can jump to.
Yeah.
Lame shit.
It is lame. And it is interesting, the whole that there's 2 aspects to this whole topic, because there is also, like you mentioned, a lot of people who are just now realizing that this show is making fun of them. That it's been making fun of them this whole time. And I don't know about you, but I've seen a lot of people who've been trying to defend their own takes in a way of saying, no, it's not that like, we know it's always had political ideas and stuff, right? But it's just it's lazy now. It's not as smart as it once was, right? It's way too it's not, it's not good writing and stuff. But I'm sitting as someone who is looking at a show that makes fun of conservatives and like far right people, and also liberals, people closer to the center even. As someone who doesn't see myself as in any of those, looking in, I'm like, no, they're actually capturing it very well. You know, this isn't just some cheap, ha ha ha, look at these people, I've made a caricature and look at them. Obviously, there's the whole superhero aspect, right? Some stuff are different, obviously. But I don't know about you, but I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is a good portrayal. This is how a lot of it feels like nowadays. When you're looking at the MAGA Republicans, for example, and all the conspiracy theories and just the rhetoric in general and what they want for society, a lot of it's clicking, and it's like, damn, this is real. You know, this is what I guess America today would look like if there were
superheroes were a
superheroes.
thing.
Yeah, it's
Well, yeah, like I mean, you say that the conspiracy theories and stuff. What's interesting is I've seen a couple of conservatives, I suppose, trying to be like, oh, it's like you said, it's just lazy. They're just
yeah,
lazily. And it's like, well, I mean, I guess that is a way that you could see it, because they aren't really doing, like, in some cases, not even doing like an analog conspiracy theory. They're just saying a conspiracy theory that chuds use in real life. Like they like Starlight literally is accused of adrenochrome harvesting or whatever the fuck. And it's like, man, whenever reality is that absurd that you can just go, oh, I'm just going to use that in a show like this, it's not a good sign. But like, there's some YouTubers that have definitely made their point known, I suppose. But we're not going to watch any video by this guy or anything, because like we know how he operates, how his videos tend to go. We've done pretty substantial breakdown of his videos on you got the full all 3-in-1 video on your channel, and then on my channel it's 3 different videos, but either one, all are good. But like, here is the Critical Drinker, how to destroy your audience. Wow. Okay.
Yes. And this must mean that the audience of The Boys, the people who loved the previous 3 seasons, have now abandoned the show, right? And
right, yeah. So oh no.
Oh. Well, that's not real. That's
Clearly.
made up, Dane.
Clearly.
It must be. The Critical Drinker is always right.
Saw a viewership jump of 21% over season 3, setting a new record for the show. Season 4 is the second most watched of Prime Video's TV shows in its first 4 days. The Boys season 4. Now, okay, so I'll give the caveat to that second one that they did release 3 episodes at once at first. So it kind of does make sense that to be a little front loaded on, watching it, right?
Yeah.
Was it 3 episodes or 2 episodes? Maybe, I don't remember.
3 episodes, but they do that in every season.
True. Here's the audience scores and Rotten Tomatoes meters and stuff. It's consistently high score, right?
Yeah. I wouldn't obviously this is not the point of this, right? But I'm aghast at the low rating of season 1, but let's go.
I mean, it's barely low, right? Like it's
this is not a big time. Just like to me, season 1 is also incredible.
So thinking about this new season, up until the most recent episode, which was an incredible episode, it was like probably one of the best of the series. It's and then just like, goddamn Anthony Starr, I don't know how he gets better and better.
I'm stronger. I'm smarter.
It's like, fuck, this guy's great.
I'm better. I am better. And I am very excited for everyone to meet the real
I can understand, other than that episode, it did kind of pick up a little bit slow compared to like last season and the season before. I remember being just like, fuck yeah, as soon as the season started, I was like ready to go. This one, I was just like, what are we doing? What's going on here? You know what I mean? Like, I just didn't, it didn't feel as gelled together, and it's starting to feel like it's doing that now. But so I can understand it maybe being a little bit lower based so far on the episodes that have come out. 49% does not seem like
reasonable,
no, because it's not.
No,
because it's review bombed.
Yeah, I completely agree. Personally, when I watched the first episode, I still enjoyed it, but there's just some things where it was like, okay, some of the jokes aren't really landing. Some of it didn't hook me the same way as like some of the other seasons did right from the beginning. But I feel like it's just been stepping up as it's been going along, and episode 4 was fucking amazing. Yeah.
Now it's like, I mean, they kind of did start the season with all the characters a little bit in disarray. You've got even got Busher is like kicked out of the Boys and shit like that. He's dying, and there's some heavy stuff going on. That's like not the most not the coolest thing in the world. But yeah, still it's still enjoyable to watch for sure. But like audience score 49% doesn't make any sense. The reason is because Eric Kripke came out and said some things. He said, "Those just wait. Let's see." Oh, he said, "So anybody that's just figuring out that the season is woke or whatever, go watch something else." You know,
Yeah.
it's they confirmed last season that Homelander is literally like they look at Trump and then they break down how he is and then apply that to fucking Homelander, and then of course you've got they don't it's not enough for them that you've literally got a character that's kind of directly supposed to be AOC as well, who is like kind of a villain who pops heads. That's not enough for him. But like there's a couple of things I wanted to talk about this. But so first of all, there's a few comments on this thing. Just because the show hasn't scored as well doesn't mean it's been review bombed. There's much higher likelihood that it's just not as good as previous seasons, and fans are just no, it's not really.
No.
The kind of defenses for the review, like, oh, review bombing, what a silly idea, like it doesn't happen, like it. Stop gaslighting.
It happens every time something big comes out. Stop gaslighting.
Michelle says review bombing. See, notice how all of them are just like, review bombing. That's absurd. I'm sure every one of these reviews is by people who viewed season 4. And you may want to look because we haven't seen the Nielsen ratings, just Amazon self-reporting. And I mean, that is a decent point in any context. They admit their viewership dropped in the USA. Did it? All that came from Brazil and India. And then here's a little vague xenophobia, kind of racism, where people probably don't realize what mean-spirited dung it is.
Okay, yeah, that's just... Yeah,
a little bit racism,
that just makes
maybe?
No sense. It's also like, Brazil and India also has like large populations of people who are right-leaning.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't... And that's just a weird-ass comment.
So this one is the one that kind of, the last one here, kind of set me on a little mini investigation. Leave it to Screen Rant to put out such a thoughtless article. Nobody is suddenly discovering the show's underlying political leanings. The show is never subtle about anything. True. People went along with it because the first few seasons kept the focus on good storytelling with complex and compelling characters. Most people are willing to empathize or put up with a certain amount of agenda pushing, but it's wrapped in something entertaining and interesting.
I've given you everything that I ever wanted, and it's still not good enough for you. Why? You're ungrateful? You go behind my back? You lie to me?
I don't feel like this really makes any sense.
Yeah.
And so I was like, wait a second.
I guess they mean like season 1 and 2 were good, and then season 3 and 4 were bad.
One post, member since 6/23/2024.
Oh, nice.
3 posts, member since 5/28/2024. 11 posts. Yeah, he's been a member since. He might be real. Might be a real dude. Could be. I suspect these other ones are not.
Perfect.
I suspect that maybe this guy's real, but I suspect these other 3 are not real guys.
It's like bot answers,
or at least somebody
either that or people who just saw this and made an account and just to talk about this.
Which it kind of goes along with the review bombing thing. Is like if you have to review bomb something, and then if you have to make a fake account on a website just because you like need to push back against the article you read, I don't know. I just don't feel like you're in such a strong position with whatever the thing is.
Yeah, and we've also talked about this before because there's been a lot of talk recently about review bombing, also with Star Wars: The Acolyte, and a lot of people saying, well, if the shows aren't as disliked as some people think, why are all like the enjoyers of it not going out and reversing the review bombing? And it just like people who enjoy something or just like don't mind it or even really like it don't often feel the need to go and leave a positive rating. There's probably a bunch of people who've read that article who liked it, but there's no comments of people being like, good article,
Like
just, I like The Boys. I like Star Wars Acolyte. I enjoy some of these shows. I don't go on there and review them. I just don't care.
Most people, for one thing, reviews in general, like anytime if you are using reviews online for anything to decide where you want to eat or anything like that, you always need to fucking just remember this fact. It's a fact. People are far more inclined to leave a review if they have a negative experience than if they have a positive one.
Yeah.
That's in any context, basically. You know what I mean? Unless you just overwhelmingly, blow somebody's mind with good service or something like that. Like if it's just like a standard, this is about what I expected, pretty good service or show or whatever it is, people aren't really going to usually leave a review. It's just, the way people's brains work. It's kind of a crappy thing that our brains work this way, but that's where they are.
If your steak wasn't cooked properly, right, or something was raw, there was a hair in your food, you're much more likely to go like, okay, you need to know this, right? Put it in a review, rather than this was good ass food.
No, the steak was exactly how I ordered it. It was pretty good, man. Like I liked it a lot. No, who cares? Nobody cares.
Yeah, exactly. It's also almost expected, you know.
One of the things that I saw, and definitely we could go look at the comments of my video from last time and see this being played out. Got a lot of people saying, well, no, because back then they were still trying to like defend against the fact that it was specifically against the right. I think that's the main thing that's different this season, is that it's kind of, they seem to have gone all in on the right wing this time. I haven't really seen anything too much about the left, really. I mean, I'm sure there's something in there, like little comments or something, but the thing is you would see people saying, oh, they go after both sides equally, and it's like, well, no, they don't.
Not even close.
There was plenty of stuff in last season that and the reason they think that it's both sides equally is because they think that whenever the show goes after whenever it has like Brave Maeve's tacos or whatever the fuck it is, and they're having like a pride thing, and it's all like, that kind of cringe shit that's like based around pride or her being a lesbian or whatever. It's like they think that's just the left. That's what it's going after. And it's like, no, man, they're going after corporatism, is like kind of the corporate co-opting of these things. They're not going after gay people. But like when it comes to the criticizing of the right, they're just criticizing your entire fucking ideology and the stupid shit you believe. Like
exactly. There's a no point as a progressive where I felt like, oh yeah, they're making fun of like the more progressive ideology,
my values, or the things that I believe or anything.
Not at all. It's like there's a lot of critiques of like you said, corporatism, capitalism, how important things or topics to be addressed, like civil rights movements and stuff, pride, they get exploited for money by big companies. And obviously also in this big superhero fucking universe where it's all about making profit, they're gonna be profiting off of this. This is not a critique of leftism or progressivism, but it definitely is a critique of like far right ideology.
The best example that now that I think about it is the Girls Get It Done of season 2, right? With the whole like they're shooting the movie, and then like all the women come together, and it's like, well, I wonder where did I see this before?
Exactly.
Except they actually call it out, and whereas they don't do that in Avengers Endgame, thankfully. But like, they're like literally like, come on, girls, girls, get it done and stuff.
Exactly. And again, like you said, that's where some people see, oh yeah, that's them making fun of the woke left,
Right.
of left ideology. No, it's not. They're making fun of that like scene from Avengers Endgame, of them being like, you know what, this movie will make even more money and get more claim if we have this moment of all the women standing up and having their hero moment together. I see it in two parts, and I often see this kind of stuff in two parts, where obviously there's the executive decision, to okay, let's do this because this is what will get us more attention. This will give us the good points. There's that point, but also like the whole just idea of, okay, this one character, she has a wife, and there'll be a scene where she kisses her wife. That is not in itself anything bad. It doesn't need to be explained. It doesn't need to have any characterization. It can just be there because that's what it does in real life. Yep. People are gay, and that's perfectly fine. And that part is good, Yep. And so like when people are criticizing that part of it instead of the more corporate side, the capitalist side, that's the problem. When you just see, oh, two women shouldn't be kissing in my kid's movie. That's the problem. Not this is a good thing, right? Either way, representation is, at the end of the day, I still feel it's good, right? Sometimes it's done, I guess, in more lazy ways, right? But like at the end of the day, I think it's a positive. Yeah, but it's also often done for a bad reason, or not for bad, but like for profit and for executive gain.
Or for there can be a hypocrisy about it too that's not good. Whenever they the company that like For instance, they were Disney was originally kicking money to, I think, DeSantis and shit like that. That were people that were voting for the "Don't Say Gay" bill or whatever. And it's like, well, you can't fucking do that, man.
Exactly. So it's like they're supporting horrible politicians who are against a lot of progressivism, but then they go out and have a scene like this because they're like, yeah, you know what, our audience will like this and they'll give us more money, right? But that in itself doesn't make that scene bad. And that's where the distinction is, and that's where a show like The Boys is addressing and making fun of and criticizing that aspect of it, like the Disney part of it, rather than the kiss itself,
Yep, and they very often don't see the difference there, and that's it sucks, man, because sometimes chuds can get right up against the actual issue of things, and then they lean into the bigotry instead of hold on, man. Like, for instance, recently Eric Debunks did an excellent video on this, as he always does, but like the Call of Duty trans pride bullets, basically.
Yeah.
And like, and he made a video pointing out that, like, look, if you're mad about this, it's okay. If you're mad about it because of this corporation that is like cynically, using trans identity to like sell fucking, bullets and bullshit, but if you're mad about it because of the gay part of it, then you're just a fucking bigot,
If like the part of it that you see, these trans bullet, they are gonna make my child transgender and then they're gonna corrupt them. Okay, you're missing the point,
And you, my friend, are a true hero.